Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. With all the noise in the external world today, we're doing something a little different. We're shifting our focus completely inward. We're going to explore a really profound internal cartography, a map of human consciousness that was charted by ancient sages thousands of years ago. It's a journey that moves from basic survival all the way to absolute cosmic liberation. Actually, I want you to start by asking yourself this. What really exists in that space behind your closed eyes? We kind of just assume closing our eyes means entering an empty, dark void, right? Well, the source material we're digging into today shows that your inner world is absolutely anything but empty. It's this highly complex vortex of thoughts, emotions, memories, and most importantly, currents of subtle energy. If we want to achieve immovable internal peace, the exact kind of peace that can actually harmonize a fractured world, we have to know how to navigate this inner terrain. To unpack all this, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the inner energy map, check out the 3 material centers, cross over the heart's crucial bridge, ascend the spiritual summit, and then wrap up with healing our collective imbalance.
All right, part 1, the inner energy map, also known as the subtle body.
So what's truly fascinating here is how this completely redefines our anatomy. To get this map, you have to look right past your physical body. The bones, the flesh, the blood. We're stepping into the Sukshma Sharira, which is the subtle energetic body. And get this, the ancient yogis mapped this entire energetic system, not by building massive telescopes to look outward, but through profound, deep silence to look inward at the human soul. Just like your physical body has a cardiovascular system for blood, your subtle body has a massive network for conducting your vital life force. 72,000. Think about that for a second. That's the massive number of nadis, or subtle energy channels, flowing through you right at this very moment. They conduct prana, which is your vital life force. And right down the middle, running directly up your spinal column, is the central, absolute most important energy highway of them all, called the Sushumna Nadi. Now, intersecting that main spinal highway are 2 spiraling currents. Over on the left, you've got Ida, which represents the cool, lunar, feminine, and intuitive aspect of our nervous system. And on the right is Pingala, the warm, solar, masculine, and analytical aspect. When these major highways intersect along your spine, they create these massive spinning vortexes of energy. We call those chakras, which literally translates to wheel. You can kind of think of them as your spiritual processing units. But you might be wondering, what's actually powering these wheels? Well, that brings us to Kundalini Shakti. The ancient texts describe this as a sleeping serpent coiled quietly at the very base of your spine. It's literally our dormant, untapped evolutionary potential. For most of humanity, this energy is sound asleep. But the whole goal of meditative discipline is to purify the mind and body so that this dormant life force wakes up, travels up that central Sushumna channel, and pierces the major chakras, completely transforming your psychological perspective along the way. Moving right along to part 2, the 3 material centers, or our earthly foundation. Let's break down these lower chakras. Starting at the very bottom, we have the Muladhara, or root chakra. It's red, tied to the earth, and it governs your fundamental survival instincts and fears. Move up just a bit and we find the orange Svadhisthana, or sacral chakra, tied to water and handling sensuality, pleasure, and fluid emotion. And then, sitting right in your solar plexus, is the yellow Manipura chakra. Think of this as the engine room of fire, willpower, and the ego. Together, these 3 centers handle our entire material existence on Earth. Now here is the absolute crucial point. There is nothing wrong with these lower centers. I mean, we need them to survive. But the danger creeps in when our consciousness gets stuck here. If your energy is trapped in the root, you're constantly living in a fight or flight scarcity mindset. Stuck in the sacral, life just becomes this addictive chase for the next immediate sensory pleasure. And if you're stuck in the solar plexus, that fire burns totally out of control as a toxic desire to dominate others. It basically traps us in this animalistic cycle of conflict, unchecked ego, and division. This brings us to part 3, the heart's crucial bridge, which represents a massive evolutionary leap. Right in the center of your chest sits the Anahata chakra. The word actually means unstruck or unbroken, which refers to the celestial sound of unconditional cosmic love. Associated with the color green and the element of air, this center is the ultimate bridge. It sits exactly in the middle of the whole system, perfectly connecting your lower material needs with your higher spiritual realizations. This is the birthplace of deep empathy and selflessness. When your Kundalini energy finally breaks through this heart center, your whole relationship with reality just completely flips. You stop asking, well, what can I get from this world? And you start asking, how can I heal this world? You begin to experience this profound ancient truth, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world as one family. It stops being just some nice intellectual concept and actually becomes a living, breathing reality right in your chest. You literally start to feel another person's joy and sorrow as your own. Now we're reaching part 4, ascending the spiritual summit, exploring the higher chakras. Entering this upper tier, we first hit the blue Vishuddha, or throat chakra, which is the center of absolute truth. Here, your voice becomes an instrument of harmony that actually heals divisions instead of causing them. Next up, right between your eyebrows, is the indigo ajna, or third-eyed chakra. While your physical eyes see duality, good and bad, light and dark, the third eye looks inward and sees only unity, completely dissolving all those illusions of the ego. And finally, at the very top of the head, we reach the glorious Sahasrara, the thousand-petaled lotus of the crown chakra. Reaching the crown unlocks what the yogis call samadhi. And wow, this is absolute, boundless liberation. At this summit, the individual drop of your soul simply dissolves into the infinite ocean. All boundaries, time, space, nationality, they just vanish. There's no longer an I and a thou. You realize that you're not just some small entity living inside the universe, but actually the entire universe exists inside you. Which leads us to our final section, part 5, healing our collective imbalance and the profound global implication of all this. When we look at the conflicts, the polarizations, and the crises tearing our modern world apart today, the source text suggests we're not just dealing with political or economic problems. No, we are looking at a collective chakra imbalance. We're looking at a world where billions of people are psychologically trapped in those lower 3 centers we talked about. Our modern wars and exploitations are basically born from a collective fear of survival, an addiction to pleasure, and the toxic pride of the ego. And let's be real, you simply cannot build lasting peace using weapons that are born out of fear and ego. This is exactly why your personal internal work is so incredibly vital. Elevating your own energy literally shifts the energetic balance of the entire planet. So here are 3 highly practical steps from the texts that you can take with you today. Number 1, when fear grips you, ground your root. Number 2, when anger strikes, quiet your solar plexus. And number 3, open your heart and use your throat chakra to speak your truth, but make sure you do it with absolute kindness. Your meditation practice isn't just for you, it's a deeply revolutionary act. So, I'll leave you with this final provocative thought as you step forward into the days ahead. If this map is correct, your internal state directly dictates our external reality. You are a walking sanctuary. By bringing your own awareness into a space of love and unity, your very presence calms the anxious and bridges the divided. So ask yourself, how will you shift the energetic balance of the planet today? Think about that. Carry this internal alignment with you and keep exploring that incredible terrain within.